Hi guys, it's Kian. Today we are back with part 2 of all my dolls and their backstories. So check out part 1 first if you haven't, and we'll be continuing with the third group of dolls, so let's go! Okay, so this is group number 3. There's 5 of them here. So this is Parker, my Canador Adrian on a Little Monica Harmony body. This is Elfie, my Switch Wason on a Switch Attractive 65 body. This Pepper and Tones. They are both Switch Buzo, one in Mocha and one in Milk Tea Brown. And this is Salt, my Switch Sohua on an Ipo House SID body. So this is the group that has the most dolls, and these are kind of like my more recent dolls. And the general story of these 5 of them, which also happens to be the order that they came to me in, from oldest to newest, is they are basically like a con crew, like Leverage if you've watched that TV show, or like Ocean's 11 if you know that movie. So there isn't much to the story, honestly. If you look at their doll biographies, it's mostly to be updated. Except for Salt, which says something like kind and gentle. I'll just put it here. But for everyone else, it's basically like empty, because I didn't really work out in details how exactly I wanted them to be. And the main reason why they are even like a con crew is really like, one, I was having too many dolls at that point in time, like when I was buying this bunch around 2018 to 2019, 2020, 2021. I know that's a lot of years, but when I was getting my new dolls, I didn't really have a story to put them into, and I guess technically they fall into the same kind of like real world situation that Gabby and Sion's world has. So honestly, I don't really think that the story is different from the other one, settings wise, but it's just that I don't think they ever meet, like they have no reasons to meet. Gabby, Sion, and Joe are not involved in any big conspiracies or any corrupt corporations, and there's no reason why this group of conmen will ever meet them, so yeah, they technically don't meet. But they are sort of in the same setting, I guess. And in terms of their roles, right, so Pepper is the boss man. Basically he's the leader of this crew of people who go around stealing from the rich to give to the poor, or like, I guess in a way fighting the system, as Leverage says it, we provide leverage. They provide leverage to people who don't really have a choice or don't really have other better options. I just really like Leverage. So yeah, they basically follow the same kind of rules that Leverage has. So Bossman figures out who the targets are, kind of comes up with the overall plan. Tones is his twin brother. Okay, so Pepper, I guess, is kind of more leader type and more like overall good at moving people around, organizing kind of stuff. Tones is the grifter / the second boss man. He doesn't really like to lead. He's the twin brother. He's the younger twin brother of Pepper, and he's surprisingly good at acting. I guess he's a bit more quiet and introverted than his brother. And then Salt is their muscle / hitter. There's a muscle. He's their muscle / hitter, meaning that if there's any fights that needs to be done, he's the one that does it. It's kind of funny because, okay, you can't see it because he's in a very oversized shirt, but he is in the buffer's body. And the funny thing is that he's actually the kindest and gentlest of them. It just happens that he's good at fighting. So that's what he does. He doesn't really like to hurt people though. So yeah. And then Elfie is their hacker. He grifts sometimes. So he mostly hacks, because they need him behind the scene doing all sorts of jobs. Parker, as the namesake suggests, if you watch Leverage, you know Parker is the thief, and my Parker is also the thief. One of it is just because he's the smaller dude, so it's easier for him to get in and out of places, but also because he's kind of inconspicuous. He's pretty good at blending in and just, I guess, stealing stuff. So he's thief. And yeah, that is this crew. Character-wise, Parker is kind of broody, kind of not that angsty, I guess, but not very good at talking, and kind of strange, like nobody really knows what's going on in his head. For Alfie, he is the kind of guy that people usually find quite approachable. He's like well-liked in general, and people generally have a good impression of him. Yeah, he's just like an overall nice dude. Then Pepper, as I said, is like a natural born leader, and then Tones is kind of like the quieter brother, the one that thinks a bit too much sometimes compared to his brother, and Saw is really the only one that I have a very specific idea that I wanted him to have, which is that he is muscular, but he's also very kind and gentle at heart, and that contrast is what I really like about this character / this doll, and that is this crew of conmen. And I have some other dolls that don't really fit into any of these 3 stories, so I'm just gonna briefly go through them. So next. Okay, so now we're on to the last few dolls. So these are the last of my current dolls that have a face up. I also have an unpainted EJ Stitch Arrows, but I will not include him in this video because he's not painted and I don't really have a name for him even. For this stragglers, this is Vi. Vi is a My Dear Boy Hobin head on a DFA 65 cent body. And this is Nor, my Easy Stitch Dante, who's currently just a head, but hopefully I'll be able to get him a body. So they don't really have a story yet. I kind of have a general sense of what their character is like. They might get put into one of the earlier stories, but I haven't decided which one yet. So Vi is kind of like a cheeky, a bit more extroverted dude. So he's kind of chill but a bit obnoxious sometimes, if that makes sense. He's basically the embodiment of his facial expression, once I figure out how to describe it. So originally, at one point, he was going to be the bad guys that the con crew was going to go up against, but I don't think he's that powerful. Like, he kind of just feels like a more obnoxious version of a goofball. So yeah. And then Nor is hopefully gonna be on a HID body, if Apple House HID body, if / when I can get it, because it's not available for order yet and I also need to save up. But he is meant to be a monochrome dude, and as a result of that, I kind of have this impression that he's gonna have long hair and also robes. That he's gonna be dressed in mostly robes, and he's kind of like a very serious-ish dude. One of his inspirations is Dream from the Sandman, or Morpheus, as he's also called. And yeah, he's just kind of that kind of vibe, which makes me think he would fit in with the Pebbles kind of universe vibe. But I haven't really decided, and also he's really tall if he's gonna be on this HID body, and that would make that story full of a lot of odd-sized dolls, but I guess that makes sense. But yeah, I haven't figured out what to do with him, but he's kind of just serious, I guess. Solemn maybe is the better word. And this guy is a goofball. So that's kind of my current crew, minus the unpainted arrows head, which I haven't figured out what to do with yet. I hope you enjoyed today's kind of messy and brief introduction to my dolls, their characters and their backstories, and thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel. I hope to be able to continue to grow it, and comment below if you want to see more of any of this guy's stories and which one you might be interested to hear more of. If I'm gonna do a more detailed one, it will probably be like one doll at a time, because if not I'll talk for too long. And yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about for my dolls, and like this video if you enjoyed it. And that's all for this week. I'll see you all next time. Bye.